Hi everyone, in this video I will be showing you how to crochet this crochet flower pillow. The original pattern calls for Bernat Blanket yarn. I have all the materials as well as the written pattern listed below. Because I'm using a worsted weight yarn for this sample, I am using a 5mm crochet hook. If you are using the Bernat Blanket yarn, which is a super bulky, you will want to use a 6.5mm hook. So to begin, we are going to make the center by making a magic ring, chaining up 1, and then making 10 half double crochets into the ring. So I'm going to go ahead and make 10 half double crochets and meet you back here for round 2. Once you have 10 half double crochets in the ring, go ahead and pull your tail end tight to close up that center gap and join to the first stitch in the round. Now we're going to chain up 1 and make 2 half double crochets in each stitch around. So the first round we have 10 half double crochets. In the second round we should end up with 20 half double crochets. So just 2 half double crochets in each stitch around for round 2. Once you've completed round 2, go ahead and join to that first stitch in the round, chain up 1, and we're going to continue to make this circle larger. So in the very first stitch, we're going to make 1 half double crochet, and then in the next stitch, we will make 2 half double crochets. And then we are going to repeat that pattern all the way around the circle. So in the next stitch, 1 half double crochet, and then in the next 2 half double crochets. So go ahead and repeat that pattern all the way around and then join to the first stitch for round 3. Here I just completed round 3 by joining to the first stitch in the round. For round 4, chain up 1, and we are going to continue to make this circle larger. So in the first stitch, we are going to make 1 half double crochet. In the next stitch, 1 half double crochet. And then in the third stitch, 2 half double crochets. And that is the pattern we will want to follow around for round 4. So half double crochet, half double crochet, and then 2 half double crochets. Go ahead and follow that pattern all the way around, join to the first stitch, and then I will meet you back here for round 5, which is the last round for this centerpiece. Here I just completed round 4, and if you are counting your stitches, the first round is 10 stitches, the second round is 20 stitches, third round is 30 stitches, and the fourth round is 40 stitches. So to start round 5, chain up 1, half double crochet in the first stitch, another half double crochet in the second stitch, another half double crochet in the third stitch, and then in the fourth stitch, 2 half double crochets. And that's the pattern we will be following. Basically 3 half double crochets over 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. So go ahead and follow that pattern all the way around for round 5. Here I am at the end of round 5, so I'm just going to join to that first stitch, chain 1 to fasten off, and then next we are going to work on the flower petals. I'm going to be using this pink color for my flower petals, so I'm just going to attach this color anywhere around the circle. I'm just pulling up a loop, chaining one, and then I will crochet over this tail. So you're going to make a half double crochet in that first space where you joined your yarn, and then you are going to half double crochet into the next 9 stitches. So in total you will have 10 half double crochets So there I have 10 half double crochets. So I'm going to chain one and turn my work. In the first stitch, I'm going to make 2 half double crochets. And then I'm going to half double crochet across until my last stitch. In my last stitch, I'm going to make 2 half double crochets as well. So here we are increasing in the beginning and the end stitch. And then we are going to basically repeat this row until we have a total of 10 rows. So here I am at the last stitch where I will make 2 half double crochets. If you have trouble finding that last half double crochet, what you can do is when you make your first stitch of the row, grab a stitch marker or a piece of yarn and just mark that very first stitch. So then when you come back to it, you can see that it will be the last stitch there. So I'm going to repeat that second row. So in the first stitch, we need 2 half double crochets. I already made one. So here's my second one. I'm going to half double crochet all the way across, and then when I get to my last stitch, I will make 2 half double crochets. So if you're counting stitches, that first row will have 10, the second will have 12, and then each row after that will grow by 2. So it'll be 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, so on and so forth. So go ahead and keep repeating this row 2 until you have a total of 10 rows. So here I have my 10 rows. Each row has 2 half double crochets in the first and last stitch with just half double crochets in between, except of course for the very first row where we just did 10 half double crochets onto the center. So for the next 2 rows, I already chained up one. We are just going to crochet half double crochets in each stitch across. So for rows 11 and 12, we are just making half double crochets in each stitch all the way across. Just completed rows 11 and 12. For rows 13, 14, 15, 16, the next 4 rows, we are going to decrease over the first 2 stitches and over the last 2 stitches. So yarn over, insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, insert your hook into the second stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 5 of the loops on your hook. And that is a half double crochet 2 together. We're going to do that over the first 2 and the last 2 stitches. In between, we are just going to half double crochet 1 in each stitch. So here I am at my last 2 stitches. Again, I'm going to do a half double crochet 2 together, yarn over, insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, insert your hook into that second and last stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops. And we are going to repeat that row 3 more times. We should now have 16 rows total for our petal. We are going to finish up with row 17 by doing a half double crochet, 2 together over the first 2 stitches. I already chained up 1 to begin my row. So half double crochet, 2 together, and then we are going to make double crochets. So we're just going to make double crochets all the way across until our last 2 stitches, and then over our last 2 stitches we will do another half double crochet, 2 together. So here I am at my last 2 stitches. I'm going to half double crochet, 2 together, chain 1 to fasten off, and then that is 1 petal, and then you will want to make 4 more petals for a total of 5 petals. Begin your petal right next to this first petal here. So you'll want to attach your yarn here, do your 10 stitches and complete your petal, and then once you do that, make 2 flowers, and I will meet you back here to show you how to stuff it and crochet it all together to finish up the pillow. Once you have both of your flowers crocheted, go ahead and put the flowers wrong side facing each other. So this is the right side, and then the wrong side has the tail, the magic ring tail in the back. So I placed mine facing together, and we're going to crochet around the petals to crochet them together, and then after each petal is crocheted together, we're also going to stuff it. So to begin, we're going to have to attach our yarn. Start by going through the centers at the edge of a petal. So I'm picking up both flowers here and adding my yarn by just pulling it through and chaining 1. And we are going to do single crochets to join. So I'm going to go into that same space and single crochet. And now I'm going to hold the petals together and continue to single crochet around the petal. So picking up both petals, see her on the edge. And there's no specific place to crochet into. You kind of just have to find places to insert your hook through both flowers and then single crochet. Just make sure you're not going way too far over or too close, because then that will, if you do too many stitches, it'll kind of ruffle up the edge, and if you don't do enough, then you're going to leave big spaces where the stuffing may be able to poke through. So just do your best to evenly single crochet around. Something that also might help is if you take some stitch markers and just mark your pieces together at certain spots, so then from here to here you have more of a smaller space to work with to evenly place your stitches. And then every so often you can just look back at your work and make sure it is even. If you have too many or not enough, you can always just go back a little bit and redo your stitches. So here I crocheted around the entire petal, And then when I get back to the center, I'm going to crochet together this stitch and then this next center stitch as well before I continue on to my next petal. But before I continue on to my next petal, I'm going to go ahead and stuff this petal. So here I have some polyfill, and it's just easier to stuff as you go since these petals just are little sections, and then you only have this little space to put your stuffing into. So make sure to really get into the edges, and then when you think you've stuffed enough, go ahead and stuff just a little bit more, because this is a pillow, so when it does get used, it will settle over time. So it's best to overstuff just a little bit, so over time it doesn't get very flat. So then I'm just going to go ahead and crochet around a petal, stuff it, and continue to do that all the way around until I get to the beginning again, and then I will just slip stitch to the beginning stitch, fasten off, and that's it. And here is the finished project. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoy crochet tutorials, be sure to subscribe to my channel.